morning and welcome to the 74th Own Sound Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade. Rick Ringer, thanks so much for joining me here this morning.
Thanks for inviting me again, Linda.
What a great morning.
Well, it is. It's a little bit brisk. It's a little bit chilly, but the sun is out, and that's the main thing. And there's fresh snow on the ground. Santa obviously ordered up before he got here, and it's going to be a great parade again.
Lots of folks downtown, and I just want to take a minute to thank all of the motorists who I'm sure were perhaps not quite as happy trying to get around town this morning, because we know it's already been kind of a challenge with the detours and then with the other streets closed this morning for the parade. But I have to tell you, all the kids of all ages, thank you so much for your patience.
That's right. Yeah, it's been an adjustment for everybody getting used to the detours, and those who come from out of town for the first time, it's like, what the heck is this? What it's these double turn lanes and stuff. So it'll be really interesting next summer when the tourists come back to town. That's for sure.
It will be. But look at the excitement on the street.
Yeah. The crowds are filling in right in front of us here. We're right next to City Hall and the Community Living Building, and we would like to thank Community Living of Owen Sound and District for allowing us to set up inside their store, set up all of our equipment and wires and stuff.
The workers, some of them are inside. We're outside, where it's a little more brisk, and some of the camera people. But Sunbelt Rentals as well, a big shout out to them because they have donated all the scaffolding and stuff. And Dairy Queen. I don't know. Are we getting Sundays later?
I don't know. If we're going to have one, I'd rather have one now while I'm still a little bit warm. So, but thanks to them. They're always very community minded. I
don't know what, and that's the thing with this community. So many people help out. I'm looking at the sponsors for the Santa Claus Parade because, of course, you have to pay for bands and people to come to perform because they come from a distance, they have expenses, so you have to look after that. And if it weren't for the generous sponsors we have in this area, boy, it wouldn't be possible to do this.
Well, I think, we should also do a shout out to the Kiwanis, who are, of course, sponsoring the parade, the major sponsor and organizer of the parade for 74 years now.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. You're a Kiwanis member. You
I
and
am.
Your husband both.
No, not my husband.
Oh, okay.
He'll tell you he's not a joiner. He comes and works at different things.
Well, he's always out here on parade day. I know that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And but we have an excellent Kiwanis Club, and Angie Drury has been the chair of this parade for 8 years now, and he's going to step down. And Tim Brown, who is another Kiwanis member, who is recently an Own Sound guy who left for work, has come back.
Right.
He's taking over. So it is a lot of work.
Well, I think somebody was saying that this is the longest consecutive running Santa Claus parade in Ontario, sponsored by the same organization.
That's right. There are other parades that have been longer, but their sponsors have changed. I think Rhonda is out in the street there talking to some excited folks. Let's throw it out to Rhonda.
Welcome to the 74th Kiwanis Santa Parade. We are the reporter on the street, and we are here to find out what everybody wants for Christmas. So what would you like for Christmas this year?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaurs, that is so cool. And are you going to leave cookies out for Santa this year?
Yeah.
What kind are you going to leave?
What kind of cookie?
Toy Story.
Toy Story cookies for Santa. I think he's going to be pretty happy when he gets to your house this year. You make sure you go to bed early, okay?
Okay.
Back to you, Rick and Linda.
Pretty excited kids out there.
Oh yeah, there's so much anticipation always. I mean, it's one of the most exciting times of the year for kids and adults alike. And when you get that first glimpse of Santa, you know that Christmas season is just about here.
I have a friend who's an ECE in the French school, and she was saying for the last few days towards the weekend, the anticipation in the school with the children has just been going up. Everybody is so excited to see Santa.
Yeah.
Get their letters out there.
Think back to when you were a little girl and the night before Christmas. Could you sleep?
I did sleep, but I have to tell you, one Christmas, I think I woke up at 4 a.m, and my parents told me to go back to bed. So on my way back to bed, I managed to go by all the other kids' beds and kind of kick them to wake them up. I always remember that.
And so once that happened, Christmas morning began, obviously.
That's right.
At that point, yeah.
Pretty early.
That's a great story.
Yeah. How about you?
You know what? I recall getting up before my parents were up and having a peek under the tree. And of course, you're not supposed to open anything,
No.
but it was just like, ooh, what did Santa bring? What did Santa bring? It's just such a magical time of the year. Now it's come a little bit early in terms of the snow and this kind of cold that we've had here, but it certainly does set the scene nicely for.
Well, call me crazy. I don't mind when it comes. I hate it when it comes and it goes and it comes back again. If we're going to have winter, let's have it.
Yeah.
Get it over with. Maybe it'll leave early.
Well, we'll get it over with in about 5 months. Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, you couldn't ask for a better day today. This is just fantastic, and especially if you're on the sunny side of the street, which the sunny side of 2nd Avenue East, which we are lucky enough to be here right next
Yeah.
to City Hall. Gorgeous sun, and it's really not too bad at all. You get over in the shade, and it's a little bit chillier. But
We should give a shout out to your lovely wife, who you told me is at home
Yeah.
in front of the fireplace.
yes, she's holding down the fort at home with the dog and the 2 cats, with the fireplace going.
Yeah.
And I know that she's watching. And hi, hon. And
I hope you have a good coffee there, John and Lynn, and Rick can
is
tell
there
you the rest
anything
of the
in that
story
coffee
later.
today, or what? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out to some of the sponsors of Kiwanis.
We really should,
Yeah.
especially the major sponsor of the event, and that's Barry's Construction, Barry Crisselbrink.
Every year, Barry is our major sponsor. Oh, Rhonda's got some more excited folks over there.
Excellent.
Rhonda, take it away.
Welcome back. We are with the Dunn family, and we have 4 kids in the Dunn family, and they're getting very excited for Christmas. And we were saying, so since Santa's been doing this parade for 74 years, how old do you think he is?
74.
That's a pretty good guess. He is magic, so you just never know, right? So what's on your Christmas list for this year?
A new game.
Nice, very nice. And are you guys going to put cookies out for Santa on Christmas Eve? What kind of cookie are you going to put out?
Chocolate cookie.
Chocolate cookies. I think you're barking right up Santa's tree there, okay? Absolutely. Do you know what's on your list this year?
Baby.
A baby. Oh, and this is a family with twins. This could be a big thing. We'll be back after this with more with Rick and Linda.
Okay, we were talking about some of the sponsors that,
Yep.
and Barry's Construction. Thank heavens for Barry Crisselbrink. He sponsors so many events around the area. But we got Bay West, Toyota, Pickard Construction.
Now, all of these people kick in a few $100 a piece each year
Yeah.
to have their banners in the parade.
That's right.
Cross Mechanical among them, HaveOne.com with Gabe Nowak, Graham Construction, Hobart Manufacturing, GM Blue Plan Engineering.
Ivan Dinsmore, McDonnell Fuels, Shorty's Bar and Grill, and Seasons Retirement Communities. Then we also have our contra sponsors, which for folks who don't know what that means they give us products in lieu of dollars,
Right.
which we greatly appreciate, because without the Bayshore Broadcasting, which you're part of,
Yes,
Classic Rock 94.5, Rogers Broadcasting,
and the Dock as well, 92.3 The Dock.
and then we have advertisers who advertise in different things. So we have Doors and Trainer optometrist Andy Drury, who, as I said, is the chair of the parade. Fabricland, Grey Bruce Coatings and Insulation, Horton and Horton, Suntrail Outfitters, Kruger Custom Steel, Freedom 55, McDonald's Flower Cart, and Kia Motors.
All right, and Wagon Pullers, Kiwani and Don King, rather, is a wagon puller and a contributor to what it costs to put this parade on.
Yeah, and Carrie Lee and Associates have just cash donations, wanting nothing in return.
All right,
And-
so you've been doing this parade for quite a few years, Linda.
I have.
What's the most unusual thing you've seen that's occurred? Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
No, nothing really unusual, although we were just talking about it the year I don't know if it was the year I was president or lieutenant governor, and I was riding in the parade. with my husband, and we were just saying about the weather. It poured rain that year, and it was cold. It was horrible. And somebody said to him afterwards, "You didn't look very happy," because he doesn't like the cold and the rain. He's like, "You think?"
Yeah. And of course they're going, well, this is Linda's fault. She was the president, right? It's her fault that it was rainy and cold.
Yeah. But we've had some interesting things, in the parade year after year. There's always something, and it's great to see all the participants.
I think one of the great things about Kiwanis, too, not only organizing, but acting as parade marshals all along the route, making sure that nobody puts themselves in danger along the parade route, because these are moving vehicles and whatnot.
Oh, I hear Rhonda's got some more folks for us over there.
All right.
Ready? We are here at the Santa Claus Parade, and we have Hunter and Liam, and they are getting pretty excited about seeing Santa Claus, right?
Yep.
Totally. Have you guys got your wish list, your Christmas list ready for Santa yet? Yep. What's on your list this year? Is it a big thing or a little thing? Just little? That's okay. Hunter, what's on your Christmas list this year?
I'm a blade.
A Beyblade. They are totally awesome. I think you got to keep your fingers crossed, right, and be a good boy? Yeah. And do you guys put cookies out for Santa at Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
What kind do you put out?
Tree ones.
Say that again?
Christmas tree ones.
Christmas tree cookies. That is totally cool. I think he's going to love that. Does he eat them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you put milk out too?
No.
Hot chocolate?
No.
No. Little sip of water?
I put water out.
You put water out. Very good. What about carrots for the reindeer? Does anybody do that at your house?
No.
No? 1 carrot. These reindeer are working hard, man.
We would put carrots out for reindeers if they come into our house.
Oh, yeah, that's true if they come in the house. But I don't think your mom and dad would like those guys to be tromping through on the floors, would they?
No.
Not with dirty reindeer hooves. They could leave a real mess. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're going to see Santa coming down the road very soon. Make sure you call out and say hello.
Okay.
Can you say to everybody, Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. No. Well, I'll do it. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. Back to you, Rick and Linda.
I just want to give a shout out too. We were talking about the banners and the parade sponsors. The folks that are pulling those banners, or holding the banners, pulling the wagons, they're Georgian Bay Children's Choir members.
Okay.
That have volunteered their time to come out this morning.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. I was wondering when you were talking about things that, have changed over the years, it would be interesting if you could see the first Santa Claus parade till now and hear what the different items were kids were asking for.
Oh, yeah. It would be a lot different. Yeah, like, okay, I don't want to give away my age too much, but yeah, even the things I would have asked for back when I was a kid would be a lot different than what they are now. That's for sure. There were no video games, put it that way, when I was a kid.
No,
yeah.
Things were a lot different. And I'm looking out there. I see so many different folks. I see some folks from Bogner over on the other side of the road, some folks from Owen Sound right in front of me here with their grandchildren. It's great to see them bringing out their grandkids and coming down here.
You bet.
Family traditions.
It really is. And we'd also like to thank everybody for bringing donations for the Owen Sound Salvation Army Food Bank. The food bank again this year is giving candy back to donors, to people who are donating the non-perishable food items. They're giving them candy back again, and that's just a wonderful thing.
That's right, and they really need the donations. And of course, soon, well, probably right now, the firefighters will be looking for toy donations.
That's right.
To give out.
And Canada Post workers are going to be walking along the route as well, collecting letters for Santa.
Yes, and then the kids will be just patiently waiting to get a reply. Wanda has found some more excited folks on the other side of the street.
Awesome. We are here with 3 young ladies waiting for Santa to get down the road. What is your name?
Victoria.
Victoria.
Alexandra. Kaya.
Kaya. And Kaya, I see you have some envelopes in your hand. Are those your Christmas list?
Yeah, for me and my brother Caden.
That is a fantastic idea. Is this Caden up here?
Yeah.
Awesome. So can we ask what's the biggest thing on your Christmas list this year?
Pokemon.
Pokemon! Very cool. That is an awesome game. And what about you, Miss Alexandra? What's on your big list this year?
I have a lot of things. I don't remember most of them, but My Life doll.
Oh, My Life doll. Very nice. Very nice. And do you guys, are you going to go to the Festival of Lights tonight and watch the fireworks?
I don't know. I'm going to a sleepover with my mama and papa.
Sweet. Those are always fun. Well, have fun tonight and say hi to Santa for everybody today at the parade, okay?
Okay.
All right, say goodbye.
I can hear some noises in the background. I can hear the level of the kids' voices increasing too, so I think something is getting close.
I think so. I think we're getting close to seeing the parade here at our vantage point. Of course, there are crowds all the way down to the beginning of the parade route, which extends all the way down to the Metro store.
Right.
On 2nd Avenue East.
And we're at kind of the other end of the spectrum here. But I can see them coming. I can see we've got the town crier leading the way there, Drew Ferguson, and then there's the Kiwanis banner behind him.
Yep. Now, the town crier, that's an interesting job. And a lot of people always think that they say, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, and it's not. It's oh yay, oh yay, oh yay.
Yes, I've had to do that a couple times with regards to the election. When you read the writ, you have to do the oh yay, oh yay, oh yay.
Yeah.
It's really kind of strange to get your tongue around that. Drew does a good job, though.
And Barry's Construction, as we said, they are the major sponsor of the Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade.
I hear sirens. I hear sirens. That always spikes up the excitement level. And I always used to wonder why all the emergency vehicles were at the front of the parade. And I wasn't sure why until I found out one year. It's in case there's an emergency and they have to leave. They don't disrupt the whole parade
That's
then.
right, yes, exactly. So, and it gives a good introduction to the parade itself. Everybody knows, okay, this is it. This is the real deal. We're underway now.
Oh, for sure. And everybody loves, the day of a parade to hear the sirens. You don't want to hear them other days.
No,
But
exactly. But
in the parade.
This is one day where it's all good.
Yeah,
all good.
exactly. And here,
First responders coming by, Owen Sound Fire Department. There's Drew Ferguson coming by our vantage point now.
he does such a great job.
His arm's going to get a little tired ringing that bell, I suspect, over the course of the entire route, but he's got a couple of helpers with him there, for sure.
He does.
And once again, we have to thank the Kiwanis of Owen Sound, not only for all that they do with the Santa Claus Parade each year, but so many wonderful projects, including the Whispering Pines Campground and so much more. Such a valued organization in this community.
Well, we sure have put a lot of money into Own Sound for the kids.
That's right. So a lot of the...
Oh, yeah!
here's Drew doing his thing.
Santa Claus is coming!
Well, that
Glad to
gets
get him on
things.
mic there.
Yeah, that gets things off to a ringing start.
That's right.
And as I said, we have the banners coming by. We have them carried by some Kiwanians and what we call friends of Kiwanis, people who come out to help us for different events, and the Georgian Bay Children's Choir. That I'm assuming this is our new police chief.
This is not.
This is Inspector Flooney?
Chief Ambrose? Oh, this is Inspector Flooney here.
Oh,
who I'm
right.
seeing here. Just looking for
So
Chief
perhaps
Ambrose.
the chief is in the car.
As the chief, he would maybe get to get that privilege, yes.
I know Chief Zornberger always walked.
Cooperating.
He liked to walk and get out there.
Rhonda's
That's what
talking
you expect
to
this time of year, and the
Inspector
sun's great. So
Flooney here, it looks like.
we're really looking forward to it, having a good time.
Keeping Santa safe on our roads today.
Absolutely. We'll make sure he gets here just fine.
Awesome. Have a great day. Thank you.
And got the police car there. And I'm assuming that is our new chief in there. We have to wait till he gets a little closer. I haven't had the privilege of meeting him yet. Have you, Rick?
I have, and you know what? He came up, I believe, from KW area, from Kitchener-Waterloo area, and he's very quickly done some interesting things, especially in terms of getting the community involved in in policing and what they think are the priorities for the Owen Sound Police. And also with the mental health initiatives that they're trying to...
that's great.
They're trying to roll out as well. But yes, that is our new chief, Chief Ambrose.
Good morning,
in the
Chief
cruiser.
Ambrose. Now, what have we got? Salvation Army, I believe, coming along
Yep.
here.
Owen Sound Fire Department would be up next.
And as you said, we've got Canada Post walkers going along the route collecting letters.
It's always great because it's so easy to write a letter to Santa. It's Santa Claus, North Pole, and the postal code is HOHOHO.
Right,
Ho, ho, ho.
exactly. So I saw lots of people coming by with goodies for the Salvation Army. And of course, there are going to be other opportunities to donate food items to them. There will be boxes in all of the stores. You know, doesn't take very much to throw a couple extra things in your shopping
That's right.
cart and drop it
you
off.
don't have to do a big donation. Like each time you do your shopping every week or every couple of weeks, put a few extra things in there, you know?
Okay, I think we're going to throw it back to Rhonda.
Hi, welcome to the Kiwanis Santa Parade. If people didn't remember to bring their food down for the Salvation Army food drive, where can they take it?
They can drop it off at any of our local grocery stores. They can drop it off at the fire department or right at the Salvation Army.
Awesome, what a great way to celebrate the
Thank you.
season.
We are
Thanks.
certainly excited. People have come out with lots of food this morning, so we're very thankful.
Awesome, great. Enjoy the parade and
you,
say hi to Santa for
Merry
us.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And that's quite a cute little friend that Alice Wannon has there with her.
That's right.
Going along. And here's Inter Township Fire Department, Owen Sound Fire Department. They're all coming along. The kids all love those big trucks.
So Owen Sound Fire Department with their big aerial unit here.
I think I'd like to drive a fire truck.
Well, I'm not sure they'll let you or not, but
probably
I'd like
not.
to ride in one.
Yes,
believe it or not,
that'd be
that's one
fun.
of those things that people get to do as a kid, and I've never been able to do that. But, we certainly appreciate everything that our police and fire services do here in Owen Sound, and as you said, that includes the Inter-Township Fire Department as well.
Maybe they should have some kind of a contest where we could get a ride in a fire truck. Home Depot folks coming along here with their shopping carts to collect food. And of course the Salvation Army truck
And
to load it all in.
I'd just like to say hello to Alice Wannon, who was on the air with Rhonda there just a moment or two ago. She does such a fantastic job with the Salvation Army Food Bank, and just such a lovely soul, such a
She is. She's
positive
another
person.
proud Kiwanian.
Yeah, she is. She's always got a smile for you, a smile and a hug, and she cares so much about this community and about the food bank's clients, and she's just such an asset.
She is. And now we've got the Canada Post van coming by. Which
And a walking mailbox as well.
Yeah. Isn't that good?
I guess I don't know if you can pop your letters right in the walking mailbox to Santa or not. But
I don't know, but I see a few little souls on the other side of the road with their envelopes in their hands, their letters.
yeah.
I like the walking mailbox. And this must be the Inter-Township truck coming by now.
Yep. And you mentioned earlier the detours because of the closure of the 10th Street Bridge, and Owen Sound Fire and Inter Township Fire and Meaford Fire as well are all working together to try and make sure, and Georgian Bluffs Fire are all working together to make sure that the detours won't cause a problem, and that closure of the 10th Street Bridge won't cause a problem for the next year.
I know, and I have to tell you, I live about halfway between the Meaford Fire Department and the Owen Sound Fire Department. So hopefully we never have to call them. But
The thing is they're working together. They always work together, and anytime there's a large fire event, especially, you're going to have multiple departments out there.
That's
And,
right.
We certainly appreciate what the Inter Township Fire Department folks do.
And just a
a
reminder,
lot of
volunteers, and just a reminder to the folks, if you're out on the road and you see a vehicle with a green flashing light in the front of it, get out of the road because it's a volunteer heading to an emergency.
That's right. Not many people know that. I think you see a green flashing light and it's like, well, what the heck is this? But that is a volunteer firefighter on the way to the station to be able to...
Or on their way to the event.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We must have Reach Grey Bruce coming up here.
They have the participants from Reach Center Grey Bruce very excited to be in their first Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade. They offer a stimulating fun program for youth and young adults with intellectual, developmental, or ABI challenges. Now, what is...
I don't know, but we'll have to find out.
Okay.
So their goal, this is really hard to talk about the sirens, so I hope people can hear us. Oh, we're hearing, this is still the fire department. This is a lot of trucks for them to have in this year. It's great. And maybe they're collecting toys already, are they?
I think so.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
like it.
great. I don't know, have you ever been in their Santa's workshop?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? The firefighters have as much fun, I think, as the kids are giving this stuff to, as they're getting it all organized and, you know, make sure it's sorted out for different age groups, and lots of fun.
Well, good hats off to them, or fire helmets off to them for organizing this toy drive again this year.
You know what the problem is, Rick? We're too far back. Nobody's giving us any candies.
We don't need candy, Linda.
Probably not.
We should do a little shout out to the Remax office across the street, by the way. They had hot chocolate they were giving out to people, hot chocolate and cookies giving out to parade attendees here.
Wonderful.
And that's a perfect remedy for a cold morning like this. But
Now-
a nice, bright, sunny morning.
Now we've got Reach coming right behind this last inter-township truck.
So their goal is to experience true community and supportive relationships while engaging in lifelong learning for their more than 35 participants. Their theme this year is Reach's Musical Theater, featuring costumes from 2 theater productions, Beauty and the Beast and Reaching for Oz.
And this is just a brand new group. Reach started just in the past year or so. So
They're
hats
doing-
off to them.
Yeah, I can see a Wicked Witch of the West, and I can see a Tin Man there, and they've done a great job. Lacey Mooney, I see, is a part of that group. Now, Lacey has been currently starring in Sister Act at Owen
Oh
Sound Little
my
Theater.
gosh.
Just such a fantastic production. We just saw it last night, and
I saw it last Friday night.
unbelievable. And that is Lacey's 18th Owen Sound Little Theater production.
She
has
is-
been a stalwart of OSLT over the years.
One very talented lady. We're going to throw it back to Rhonda. I think she's got the mayor down there.
Okay.
We are here with the mayor of Owen Sound, Mr. Ian Boddy. And Mr. Boddy, what would you like to see for Owen Sound this Christmas season?
I hope everybody has a great Christmas season in Owen Sound and throughout the whole area, Grey and Bruce, that we have perfect weather for traveling and everyone gets together and has a good family event.
That sounds fantastic. I think everybody has the same wish for Owen Sound.
So Merry Christmas to everybody. Thanks.
Merry Christmas. Have a good one.
We've got Alex Ruff.
Okay, well, Mary and Boddy, of course, in Owen Sound Council, and I think I heard somebody on the sidelines hollering out, Daddy, Daddy, trying to get somebody's attention out there.
Now, I believe MPP Bill Walker is supposed to be coming along.
I think we have our new MP, Alex Ruff, right now.
We have Mr. Alex Ruff, our local MP, with us for the Christmas parade. Mr. Ruff, welcome to our parade and congratulations this year. What's on your Christmas wish list this year for our area?
Oh, I just want everybody to have a peaceful and great Christmas and truly enjoy it. Spend their time with family and basically just have a good time.
That sounds like a good plan for everybody. Thanks very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Your mic.
Thank you, sir. I'll tell you when to go.
Okay. It's always fabulous to be here at the Owen Sound Parade. Be very gracious with everyone. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All the very best. Thanks, Rick, and thanks to Rogers for all you do for our community.
Wow, that was great. We should have now 2 really special people coming along here.
Okay.
Well, some more banners. And then we have our Kiwanis president and our Kiwanis Lieutenant Governor, Michelle Coburn and Susan Davey, coming along. Now, Michelle is the club's president.
Okay.
Susan Davey is our Lieutenant Governor for our division, which ranges from Owen Sound up to Huntsville and around for all the clubs. So she's a hard-working young woman.
By the way, MPP Bill Walker did a little bit of an address from the back of his truck there, and you can tell that he was an auctioneer in his past life because he's got lungs. He didn't even need that microphone. He's able to reach right out with that voice of his.
Exactly.
All the way to both sides of the street here.
Yes, he does. And here we've got some of our wagons with different sponsors going by. I hear some pipes and drums.
This will be our first marching band coming up very, very soon. They are the Loch Lomond Pipes and Drums and Legion Color Party.
Now the pipes and drums are all well-seasoned musicians. They're scattered from all across Ontario, have Celtic roots, and they proudly gather together wearing their own tartans. Some of them playing for just a few years, others for as long as 60 years. And Brad Fraser, who's well known in the Owen Sound area, in 2010 he formed this band in memory of his mother, Doris Fraser. We'll just have a listen.
Nothing like a good pipe there.
Oh, I know. We've got somebody doing a Highland dance in front of us there.
We've got some stilt walkers happening here as well.
That's Carpenter Stilt Animation.
Okay. And a new outfit, first year for the Kangoo Club of Owen Sound. Lots of dancing and singing and walking and dancing and hopping, and they're on these kind of springy things.
I know. So they're from the Misfit Theater on the top of the West Hill. It looks like fun. Maybe I should go there to work out.
Oh man, they're getting their exercise all the way down the parade route. That's
I know. Gosh, that looks like fun, doesn't it?
It looks like a sprained ankle to me, but that's just me. Anyway, they're located in the Misfit Studio on top of the West Hill if you're interested in the Kangoo Club of Owen Sound.
And I believe their studio is in the same plaza as the Chinese restaurant, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it right now.
Chef Wok?
No, other side of the street, down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Owen Sound Brownies, guides, pathfinders, and rangers. Young girls riding the float. The older girls are walking side by side in lines, singing, guiding, and holiday songs. So welcome and thank you for participating to the Owen Sound Brownies, guides, pathfinders, and rangers this morning.
And it's groups like this that mold our leaders of tomorrow.
They are, and you know, it's just so great to be able to get young girls involved. And you know, young girls to older girls as well.
That's right.
It's always just such a great sort of formative thing to have happen in a child's life to give them friendship, comradeship, leadership, discipline, learning about a lot of life lessons.
That's right. Now we've got Grey Bruce Pride. And I can't believe it. This is the 5th year they've been in the parade. My time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they celebrate, promote the history, courage, diversity, and acceptance of the LGBTQ2S in Grey and Bruce counties. They support this mandate through activism, cultural events, education, and experience sharing and forming partnerships. They respect and acknowledge the involvement and contributions of their volunteers, allies, partner organizations, and stakeholders, and they wish everyone a pride-filled holiday season.
Of course, the Pride Parade in Owen Sound, 2 years old now, and has really expanded into quite the annual event here in Owen Sound.
It's wonderful to live in such a diverse area.
Everybody waving their pride flags. Up next. next, I believe we have Grey Bruce Roller Derby, the Highland Dames, they're called. Going to be rolling by here pretty soon.
And there they go. What a fun group.
Roller derby is a sport that goes back a ways. I remember watching roller derby on TV, and I believe that there are still professional leagues, but it's also done on an amateur level here, and man, that'd be good exercise too.
It would be. I'd like to go out to one of their matches sometimes, and I know you can find it online to see when they're playing. They are quite often at the Shallow Lake Arena.
That's right. This is the 74th annual Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade. Linda Van Alst and Rick Winger here welcoming you to Rogers TV.
And now we've got Chapman House Hospice. Their float is with riders, walkers, live music, and of course, their advertising. They have taken over the holiday tour of homes as a fundraiser.
That's right.
And I believe that's next weekend. So get your tickets and get out there.
Coming up very soon, yes. The 23rd, yes, thank you. Chapman House. Oh, this is Bootleg Cretans aboard the Chapman House float. They are big supporters of Chapman House, and I was pleased and proud to be a part of a recent show at the Roxy Theater with Bootleg Cretans.
Oh,
where we
I saw
told the
your
story
picture.
of John Fogerty and Cretans Clearwater Revival, and these guys are just fantastic. If you ever get a chance to see Bootleg Cretans, you need to.
They are. I was wondering when I saw the lineup where my friend Kevin Dandino was, why he wasn't in here this year.
The
But that
Remoka
explains
Shrine Club
why.
now. Hopefully they haven't passed us by already here with their selection of mini race cars, mini bikes, mini motorcycles, and
Oh,
trucks
I
and
still
trailers.
see them coming way up the
Okay,
road.
all right. Once again, we're talking about Chapman House and what a wonderful addition to the community it has been, not just for Owen Sound, but for all of Grey Bruce as well.
Everybody loves these little cars and
Yeah.
motorcycles.
These
and-
guys have got the best gig in the parade. They get
I
to
know.
drive these little bikes and cars and whatnot, but they do a lot of work to earn the right and the privilege to run those little mini trucks and motorcycles and whatnot with
That's right.
The Remoka Shrine Club here.
And I don't know where we would be today if it weren't for different service clubs that help out all the children and other needy people in the areas.
That's right. It gives people not only a chance to give back to their community, but a chance to meet other like-minded people in their service group. And oh wow, they're rolling right by our parade stand here.
Motorcycles, cars. Now we've got the McLaren's Pipes and Drums coming. And this is an interesting pipe band. They can trace their name back to the late 1890s and 1900s. That time they performed out of Wyerton, and they were organized by J.A. McLaren, who operated a music hall in Wyerton. Members from Grey and Bruce counties. And I just want to take a minute because Lorne Hambley, I knew him well. He wrote this poem. He belonged to the pipe band. It's a verse from one of his poems. It said, "So let us give thanks for this piper long gone. I'm sure that in heaven his band marches on to perform for the angels in that distant land, the pipes and the drums of McLaren's Pipe Band."
Very nice. And Lauren wrote that back in 1996.
Got more sponsor banners coming through. And these are talented children carrying these from the concert choir, the children's choir.
It's a wild game.
Now I believe we've got the Scouts coming, the first Owen Sound Scouting group.
And it's a Scouting musical Christmas.
They're Well
all these-
bundled up.
Oh, very bundled up. They have to be riding on a float on a chilly morning like today.
Did you ever go on a float in a Santa Claus parade?
I did. I have been on a float before in the Santa Claus parade, and it's always a lot of fun. And depending on the weather, I've done it in everything from cold to rain to slush to whatever. But when you're on a float in the parade, it's just so neat to be able to see all the smiling young faces, especially along the parade route. Everybody, as you said before, Linda, is just so excited, getting all worked up for Santa's arrival.
Now I think we've got the Owen Sound girls ice hockey team. I think it's the Ice Hawks coming, and they're rocking around the hockey nets. I see a snowman. So years ago, Rick, when I was in high school, that's the first Santa float I was ever on.
Okay.
And a service club, which is no longer here, they were, I don't know if they were the Beatles or who they were, but myself and a friend, we were the go-go dancers in our little cages on the
Did you have the go-go boots and the whole deal?
the whole deal. And I have to say, I was much thinner and much younger then.
I bet you were just rocking it as a go-go girl.
It was fun.
Yeah. Well,
It
it
was
would
fun.
keep you warm too, wouldn't it?
It sure did.
Did that go-go dancing here. Harold Sutherland Construction providing a big lift here for, I believe, as you said, these are
The Ice Hawks.
the Ice Hawks.
And these girls won a number of championships last year. And my young neighbor, Amy Dubosc, should be on there somewhere, and she's a goalie.
Okay.
These girls are just amazing.
They've got
Yay.
various levels, obviously, of hockey, and according to age, and that's a big organization. Good for them.
It
Thank
is.
them for being a part of.
And the hockey moms, the hockey dads.
Let's do a shout out to the hockey moms and dads too. Yeah,
Boy, they have to be dedicated.
that's right.
The number of miles they put on, and getting them out to practices and training.
And those
and,
early mornings, those early cold mornings. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's what Tim Hortons commercials are made of.
That's right. Yeah, Frosty's been busy working the street here as well, I see. Saying hello to everybody.
I think we should have East Ridge Community School. It's Owen Sound's junior school now, and of course schools have changed a lot in Owen Sound in the last few years.
That's right, yeah, with the amalgamation of the secondary school into Owen Sound District Secondary.
So East Ridge, of course, is the former OSCVI.
Right.
Big school for all those little children.
It is, and I've been in there before, and you can easily get lost in those hallways, especially if you're just a little kid. But the faculty and staff do a good job keeping everybody on track and where they're supposed to be.
It looks like Whoville there.
Yeah.
And of course, this year's theme is a musical Christmas.
Okay. And that would be from The Grinch, obviously.
One of my favorite Christmas
Oh,
movies.
me too. Now, which version do you like the best? The original one with Boris Karloff's voice or the Jim Carrey update?
Oh, I like the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Jim Carrey update was very good, though.
Well, it was, and
Brought it more up to date and live action and live
yeah.
actors. And
And
whatnot.
he
was an
amazing.
amazing Grinch.
But I just like Boris Karloff's
No,
voice.
I know. The original, it's what we grew up with, right?
It is. Now we've got the Owen Sound Lions Twirlettes. They formed in 1953, and they've been in every Santa Claus parade since. Their members range in age from 4 to 15, and they practice at Hillcrest School every Monday night. They wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I always wanted to be a twirlette. Never got the chance. I don't know if I could swing those batons without hurting somebody.
It's got to be tough to twirl your baton on a cold morning like this.
For sure.
The girls are doing a good job here.
And everybody loves to see them as they're going down the street. Of course, they have the youngest ones towards the end. Everybody loves seeing those little ones.
And groups like this will get to participate in Santa Claus parades all around the area. And of course, there are going to be a number of them around the area over the next few weeks. If I can put a little bit of a plug in, if you go to any of the Bayshore Broadcasting websites, including Country 93, you'll see Santa Claus listings and find out when the parade is and what time of the day it is.
All right, and of
Community
course
near
they
you.
can hear you in the mornings on Country 93.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, because this is the first one. This is only the first of many, many parades here.
Right. Now we've got Crime Stoppers.
Leads the Lion. They call him Leads the Lion because they're always looking for leads on crime, of course, and volunteers handing out candy. And I had heard recently that Crime Stoppers are also looking for a number of board members. They're looking for volunteers to be board members. If that's something that interests you and you have some extra time, something you might consider.
And now I think it's the At Last Forest School, which is quite a different take on education.
It is. And, you know, in this day and age, especially when there's so much emphasis on the environment, it's great to have adults and children concerned about the earth and working with it to try and preserve what we have. Now we should have Cubby coming up here.
I can see
mascot
him.
of the Owen Sound Attack.
I can see him.
The
Yay,
Attack,
Cubby.
having a pretty good season so far with their still relatively young team.
Everybody loves the Attack. Owen Sound has always been a sports town. Hockey, lacrosse, baseball were the big ones.
That's right. Well, the Attack are such a big part of this community in terms of their community service as well. I don't believe we have any Attack members out to the parade because they were just playing last night and they've got another game tonight and they played on Thursday night as well.
So they're resting up
they're
this
resting
morning.
up for tonight's third of 3 in a row, but they're always out at the schools and always helping.
Rolling Hills Farm.
Right, a walking group leading a miniature pony.
Oh, look it.
All decorated up for Christmas.
I'm going to say, isn't she cute? She looks, I'm sure it's a she. She looks so sweet.
It's got to be a she, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some decorated wheelbarrows as well.
And this is an equestrian farm in Georgian Bluffs, and they do riding lessons and different things, board horses.
Okay.
But it looks like they've got lots of young children involved in it, so that's great. Now we've got the dock.
92.3 The Dock. Always a big part of the parade and one of the parade sponsors as well.
I know my friend Diana Mater is on there. She's not looking. She said she'd wave, but she's not. She
now
sees
she's waving.
us.
Yeah.
She sees us.
They're looking pretty comfortable on their float.
Yeah, I wonder
A
what's
little
in their
cold,
mugs.
but comfortable.
Yeah.
I think Diana was making a bit of a preparation this morning. For,
I saw that.
For all
Yes,
of her,
I saw
all
that.
of her float mates there to make sure everybody stayed warm.
Yes. So now we've got Georgian Bay Cheer Athletics. Now this is the first business that's been dedicated to the sport of cheerleading in the Grey Bruce area. They offer both recreational and competitive cheerleading. We've got approximately 30 walkers cheering, strutting, and dancing, getting the crowd motivated.
Now that's something to see.
That's a lot of cheerleaders.
It sure is. Maybe they'll stop and do a cheer here.
Well, they were just before they got to our vantage point.
Oh, we missed them.
Yeah. The midwives of Grey Bruce, staff and client volunteers dressed up as characters from the show Call the Midwife.
Why are they doing it when it's nowhere near?
They're looking pretty good.
Somebody pushing a baby buggy?
Yes.
You don't see buggies like that very often anymore.
No. And that child in the carrier in front of Dad there looks pretty warm and toasty.
Yeah. Providing a valuable service to us here in the community. Next, we have the Kincardine Community Concert Band coming up. They are led by Mary
Klusteber.
Klusteber, a nonprofit community group that provides quality musical entertainment for various activities, including Kincardine's Summer Music in the Park concerts, parades, Scottish events, and seniors events.
Now, they have won gold at both the Kiwanis Music Festival and at the Rotary Music Festival in Walkerton. Their eldest member is over 80 and the youngest one is 12.
Wow. Now we have another Shriners Club lined up here, the Bruce Shrine Club as well. And they've got, they're all done up in their clown regalia. And they're looking for pop cans and returnables so that they can help kids be kids. Once again, another great community group here in Grey and Bruce. And kids are always the focus of the Shriners Clubs.
That's correct.
Whether it's Shriners Hospitals or various initiatives. People giving back to their community, giving their time and their passion.
And some people have asked before why we have the trailer in the parade, and that's in case one of their vehicles break down. They can just get it loaded up and out of the way so the parade can keep going.
Yep. Bruce Shriners Club.
They look like they're having a lot of fun. Now, I wonder if all the Shriners are going to get together later. I would guess that they would.
Yep, having a great time.
Have some fun.
They're just rocking that trailer.
They sure are.
All right. Mix 106.5. A part of the parade here again today.
Who's driving?
John Zagrodnik is driving for the moment, and as well, Country 93.
Of course, which you're part of.
That would be Aislinn, who's our summer cruiser person.
Aislinn Robbins, I know
who's
Aislinn.
Going to her first year of broadcasting school at Conestoga College.
Good for her.
Yep.
I remember when she was
we
like...
talk her out of going into radio for some reason. She really... a great young gal.
And of course, her parents run the Owen Sound Animal Shelter.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I believe we've got Central Westside United and First United Church coming. They have a nativity scene, and they've got some live music, some carols for us.
And a puppy.
And a puppy. All dressed up with this little jacket on.
Yeah, walking nativity scene here.
We've got those shepherds, the wise men.
Yeah, oh, they have a float here as well. Nice looking float, actually. Now there is a float competition. There are judges who judge the
there are,
floats.
and the judges are upstairs over there somewhere. I'm not sure exactly which building they're in, but I know they're watching from where they're nice and warm and put their
nice
papers
and warm.
out.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know the Queen King there, Tanya. Everybody's having a great time. Participation Lodge, Grey Bruce. And again, another seasonally decorated float. And a shout out to all these people that are pulling these floats and the big trucks that have the participants on, because their time, everything is all donated.
That's right. It takes a team effort to be a part of Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade here in many, many ways, whether you're a participant or a part of the Kiwanis organizing the parade.
And St. John Ambulance are coming along. And boy, they're such an important part of anything that goes on in the area.
That's right, with training, first aid training. And also providing medical assistance for special events with their first response unit here.
They have a great training facility both here, and I believe the other one is in, I was going to say Walkerton, but I think it's Hanover.
And they've got a sick little bear on the gurney behind there. I'm hoping he's going to be okay.
Me too.
He's been getting St. John's first aid, obviously. He's going to be fine.
I think so.
Pretty interesting to see all the snow on top of that unit.
Yeah.
It tells you what we've been going through here in the Grey Bruce area over the last couple of weeks.
The meeting house. The truck decorated with angels and a nativity scene. Oh, look at how shiny those angels are.
Oh, yeah. just sparkling in the sun there with their halos.
It's wonderful to see the work that goes into the floats. A lot of thought, a lot of work. A little guide's riding there up on top of Dad's shoulders. Looks like he's sleeping, actually.
Well, at this point in the parade, from our vantage point, they're kind of almost to the end of the route, and it can be a long haul, especially if you're just a little guy.
It is, and depending where they come from, because people come from all over Graham Bruce for the parade.
The Senior B North Stars lacrosse team now representing lacrosse from the minor players up to the Senior B team, of course. Always a successful franchise, the Senior Bs, and truly the city's team operated by volunteers and supported by the community. Owen Sound North Stars lacrosse has deep roots in the city and have been a proud lacrosse community for several years, with many more to look forward to.
And of course, both boys and girls now. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's right. As you mentioned before, Linda, Owen Sound is a hockey town, a lacrosse town, and a baseball town.
That's right. And I have to tell you, Rick, I can still throw a lacrosse ball pretty good.
Oh, can you now?
Oh, yes. With two brothers who played lacrosse, you had to learn. The Owen Sound City Band.
One of Ontario's oldest established community bands, founded by William Iles in July 1920, shortly after the city's incorporation, and continued to provide the soundtrack to the scenic city, playing for parades, regular concerts in the parks, in Harrison Park especially, radio broadcasts, fundraisers, regional town fairs, schools, and senior centers. And they're available and ready to play. If you need a concert band, drop them a line. Funded by the City of Owen Sound, band membership is open and free. City Sound Owen Band, Owen Sound City Band.
We didn't hear much of them, but I know they sound pretty good. And it's lovely hearing them down the park in the summer.
Oh, it is. In the gazebo there.
Sandcastle Theatre.
This is one of a couple of different youth theater groups that we're lucky enough to have in the area, giving kids a chance to learn new things and learn self-confidence and learn about theater and learning about working with each other. And they've got shows coming up in Port Elgin and in Owen Sound as well. They're doing Sleeping Beauty, the Panto.
And Sandcastle Theatre also do a number of plays through the year educating kids.
That's right. Now, they had a scary-looking dragon on the front of their float there, and that's because one of their shows, too, is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And
now,
they do a Christmas panto.
Yes. Talented. It's great for kids to get involved in it at that age. We've got the Owen Sound District Secondary School coming up.
They're always rocking it on the back of a big transport truck here and having a good time.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
They're having fun.
They are the Wolves, the DSS Wolves. And they're rocking that float.
They sure are. I have a feeling my neighbor's some of his grandchildren may be on there, because he was asking me last night what time the parade was, so I have a feeling they were coming in to watch.
Now it's time to get funky.
They're not going to get cold.
No, I don't think so. They're probably working at the sweat by the time they're done here today.
Warm up this time. Warm up this time.
I think we have Elf on the Shelf coming from the Sydenham District Optimist Club.
And we are getting close. I think we are getting close to seeing Santa here.
The Elf on the Shelf, they're depicting mean that elves don't just sit on the shelf, they do a lot of work.
And that's the Optimist Club.
Sydenham District. Only I don't believe it is, Rick. I think
No?
the elves have.
No. We've got a
Oh,
school
this is-
band here.
oh.
This is the OSDSS band here, their concert band.
I was just a little too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got the Optimus coming.
Okay. Now, Elf on the Shelf is something that's really developed in the last few years and is a big thing for kids and kind of a useful tool for parents, too.
I think so.
Elf is really helpful in terms of helping the kids stay behaved over the Christmas season because, let's face it, they can get pretty excited. And,
Oh, my gosh.
and maybe sometimes a little too much sugar every now and then. So, yes, these are the Optimists and they're Elf on the Shelf. But they don't just sit on the shelf. They are very active in the community.
You can go up to the orange thing.
And again, their focus is with children.
That's right. With breakfast clubs and kids camps.
Oh, they're selling their evergreen wreaths again this year. So
Now,
check
are the
that
Kiwanis
out.
doing the Christmas trees again this year?
Oh, yes. Christmas
Okay.
trees will be starting very shortly.
Okay, very good.
So, of course, our Christmas tree sales are on the west side of Owen Sound in the bowling alley parking lot beside the real estate office. And they're always, the realtor there is generous enough to donate the property for us. Well, I guess it's Northridge.
Big brothers and big sisters of Owen Sound District now. Do great work for so many children in the area. Always looking for help. Always looking for big brothers and big sisters to help littles.
There are so many children waiting right now for a big brother, big
And you
sister.
don't have to. You really don't have to donate a lot of time.
No.
Less time than you would think.
That's right. So if you can help out, give them a call.
Jason, Cranny, and Buster now promoting Shop with a Cop for the food bank during Police Week in May. This is the Community Services Officer.
I think they do that in conjunction with the Optimus Club. I think they sponsor that.
Okay.
Shop with a Cop.
And I think we are getting close. Everybody's
Mrs.
getting
Claus.
pretty excited here because I think there's only one left to come. And we know who that is.
And I think Mrs. Claus is leading the way.
Yep, there she is on the far side of the street. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the big guy himself.
And a number of Kiwanians who walk along the side of the float.
Kiwanis of Owen Sound with a good-looking unit there. And that's your president, I'm presuming, hanging out the...
That's the Lieutenant Governor and the suit.
the Lieutenant Governor, okay. And there's Santa Claus.
Our president will be hanging out the other side of the window. Ho, 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 hi, Santa. Wow. Well, what a parade that was.
Don't you always still get a rush when you see Santa Claus?
You do.
It's
You
just,
do.
There's just something about the big guy that just makes you feel like a kid again, right?
That's right. Lots of fun. All right, let's throw it out to Rhonda on the street.
Squish together, okay? And everybody face her. Hi, we are with three lovely ladies that watch the Santa Claus parade. What are your names?
My name's Wendell, and I'm also a boy.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize. And you?
I'm Peyton. I'm a boy, and my name's Grayson.
I apologize, guys. You know what? My son has long hair. I shouldn't make that mistake. Okay, so what was your favorite float in the parade today?
Mine was the Santa float.
Awesome.
Mine was the ambulance.
The ambulance, very cool.
Mine was the cheer.
The cheer club. That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? The cheer that...
Because our sister is in it.
She is? Yep. Awesome. Awesome. So, you guys, do you have your list ready for Santa?
Yes, I do.
What's the biggest thing on there?
Probably some like board game type things.
Awesome.
A hoverboard. A hoverboard.
A hoverboard. Wow, that would be awesome.
I'd say Lego.
Lego? Everybody loves Lego.
Guns.
And Nerf guns, very popular choice. And do you guys put cookies out at Christmas?
Yes, we put cookies and milk. And we have a certain plate.
Oh, very nice, a special plate.
And also we put peanut butter balls out.
For who?
For Santa.
I think he likes your house. Well, say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And I also put cookies out and carrots for the reindeer.
Carrots for the reindeer. You can't forget the reindeer, right? I mean,
that as well.
Awesome, awesome. So say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Back to you, Rick and
Okay,
Linda.
wow. You know what's so amazing at the end of the parade? How quickly people disappear.
Oh, I know. Once Santa's gone, it's like everybody else is yesterday's news. So, no, a wonderful Santa Claus parade. I've been trying to do our social media post here, the Instagram and Facebook, and it's not working. I think my phone's too cold.
Oh, well, that could be it. It is rather chilly here.
It was, but it was a wonderful morning. Thank you very much for inviting me again, Linda.
Well, I'm glad you could come and help out. Now, what was your favorite part?
Oh, my favorite part, there's a number of great floats, and you know, one of the most infectious of them is that group of students from OSDSS who are always just get the energy going. But how can you vote for anybody besides Santa himself?
Well,
I mean, he's the man.
I know.
Right?
I
and
know.
Mrs. Claus, let's give Mrs. Claus a lot of credit as well.
Well, she's probably works hard all year long.
Well, and let's face it, she's kind of the glue that holds it all together, right?
Exactly. Yes, a typical household.
Yeah. No, it's been a wonderful day, and we're so glad that the weather cooperated with us here, and I'm not that cold actually.
No,
It's
I'm not
too
bad. I'm not bad at all. The sun's
dressed
beautiful.
in layers. Yeah, we got on the sunny side of the street here today, and that made a big difference. And yeah, we were happy to bring the coverage of the 74th annual Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade to you here on Rogers Television.
And of course, you'll be able to watch it. It's going to be aired. I don't know the dates, but it'll be aired many times before Christmas. So you'll be able to watch it. If you were in a float, you'll be able to watch it. And
yeah.
And catch it. And sorry, Mark, I didn't catch that. Okay, we're going to throw it back out to Rhonda on the street.
Okay.
This is Rhonda Brown with Rogers TV and Owen Sound, and at the 74th Annual Kiwanis Christmas Parade. Thanks so much for joining us, and it was a spectacular day for 2019, and we'll hope to see you next year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Rogers and everybody that works there.
Okay, well, thanks, Rhonda, for being our voice on the street, our eyes and voice out there with talking with all the crowd. Rick, thanks so much for helping out today.
You're welcome. I love Rhonda's elf hat, by the way.
I know,
Yeah.
it's great. And you know what? Just a big shout out to all the volunteers, from the Rogers volunteers to the Kiwanis and Friends and everybody who's helped out this year.
Yeah, very, very appreciated. And thanks to everybody for coming out to the parade as well, and to all of the volunteer organizations who put so much time and effort into staging the 74th Annual Kiwanis Santa Claus Parade.
That's right. And happy holidays to everyone out there from Rick and I and all the staff at Rogers.
Merry Christmas.
We won't empty it in, but we'll just set it in. So this is what we end up with. Look at that.
Wow.
That is garden gold.
Yep.
There's a nice chunk there breaking up. But this also includes the animal manure waste from our chickens and fowl and sheep in the barn. It's also composted in with this. I have big composting units out near the barn.
Oh, yeah.
Plus a manure pile that the horse gives us.
Okay. Maybe
Anyway, this is what it ends up with. Now, if you were a plant, wouldn't you
love it?
grow in that?
Yeah.
I'm feeling very regretful for the dirt that my plants are growing in. It doesn't look anything like that.
Struggling with,
I don't think they have soil. I think they just have dirt. But one of the signs that I saw as I was walking through your gardens was the word sheet. S-H-E-E-T enriches the soil. So what is sheet?
Sheet composting is lazy man's composting. We have a large elm tree here. All the other elm trees around have died. They grow up and they die. And this one is holding on. And I think it's because of sheet composting. And if you could look at the base, you would see our lasagna composting all around the base. So whenever we have grass clippings, dead-hitting material, even wood chips or whatnot, we sprinkle them under the tree, and it builds up its own compost. We don't touch it after that. Just nature, the microorganisms come up from the soil, they're worms and whatnot, they do their business, and it makes a lovely compost and a mulch.
And feeds that plant.
And feeds the tree. And they say a healthy elm shouldn't be attacked by the Dutch elm disease.
Oh, really?
Makes them stronger.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Wow.
So we're going to use this, and we'll show you how to make good use of this compost.
Oh.
In making soil.
Excellent. So we will be back after these messages with some more information from Bill for, what is it, dirt to soil and
Dirt to soil.
soil to compost? No. We'll be back.
Our ancestors came here from France to build a better life. We lived here happily for generations. Until the British decided they wanted our land. The men were called to a meeting and then imprisoned. They demanded we swear an oath to their king and took everything, regardless. We were forced from Acadie, the only home we knew. Mon Acadie n'existera plus.
From 1755 to 1763, over 10,000 Acadians were ripped from their homeland. Despite this, Acadian culture endures in Atlantic Canada.
Attack action on Rogers TV.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Welcome back to Gardening with your local experts with Mary Jane and Rhonda. And we are at Keppelcroft with Bill Loney and his intern all the way from France, Nolan. And she's heading home soon, unfortunately. We'll hope to see her back. But we just wanted to say, too, that we are in just outside of Big Bay, or part of Big Bay, really. If you come up for ice cream, you're going to want to stop in at this absolutely beautiful garden. And Bill, your hours generally 10 till 5,
right.
And it's by donation.
By donation, yes.
Okay, and it is definitely worth the drive to Big Bay. The ice cream, not with, you know, everybody knows about that stuff. But this garden, if you want some information and look at what you can do with a garden, it's spectacular. So we're here now and we're going to compose our soil.
That's
Put it
right.
together.
Yes,
Okay.
good word to use, compose it. This is the soil once we dig a hole in the ground. you'll see we have plenty of these small, hard, flat pieces of shingle rock. And we take that and we screen every bit of it. Owen, if you'd like to do the screening here, and we'll just give you an idea. And we take out a few twigs and whatnot. And there we are left with beautiful, beautiful treasures. And those treasures we use.
What I'm having a hard time imagining is that when I walked through your Keppelcroft garden area, it took me an hour just to walk through it. And I cannot imagine how many hours it took you to screen the dirt, to make it into soil, to produce these magnificent gardens.
Well, it's been quite a few years, let alone hours. Now there's the stone. Now that is not waste. I was just saying that you should not let any biomass leave your property if you're a good gardener. And this will be used to mulch the flower beds. Now on with making the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got our screen.
So dirt. So this is dirt.
This is dirt.
Okay.
All right, Owen. We're going to add some peat moss.
Peat moss?
When I say, if this is about 3 shovelfuls of local native soil, and I emphasize that's really important, and let's say we have 3 shovelfuls in there, we'll put a couple of shovelfuls of peat moss to mix with it.
This makes it lighter?
Yeah, there's no nutrient value in this peat moss. It's simply a conditioner for the soil. It makes it lighter, but it also helps retain moisture, which is really interesting.
What is peat moss made of?
It's made of moss, sphagnum moss, from, in this case, from Quebec or maybe New Brunswick. Lots of countries no longer use it because it's not an infinite resource, but in Canada we have huge bogs of it.
Oh.
So we're still using it.
Oh, we're lucky.
Now, what I was saying about the first soil or first dirt that we used, this is the native soil on the property. Sorry about the dust.
That's okay.
That's why we wear aprons.
So
we are prepared.
I really believe that the microorganisms in the soil on the land that you're working should be included in the soil you're mixing. We're not making an artificial mixture. We're making good soil to plant in. So we want to make sure that our new mixture will also contain some of the soil that you're working in on your property. So there's our peat moss. Now we're going to add some sand. This soil here tends to be a little bit clay, and so this is just beach sand. You can buy bags of sand, you can buy play sand, which is fine, thank you. And although in actual fact, builder's sand is better. All-purpose sand has sharper points, and if your soil is a little bit clay in it, it prevents the clay from clotting together.
Oh.
So play sand is not necessarily the best, but
Too
it's better
soft.
than nothing.
Yep.
Because the particles in the clay sand are round, and the particles in the builder's sand are sharp and jagged, and they hold the clay soil apart. Whereas the round particles with clay sort of join on with them and could make it cloggier.
Where do you get builder's sand?
You can buy it at any of the lumber yards.
Okay.
And they call it all-purpose sand
All-purpose
as
builder's
opposed to play sand.
Okay.
Either is good for lightening up your soil a bit, and it's good for drainage also. And then, of course, the magic here, we'll put a couple of shovelfuls of our good homemade compost. Maybe put about 3 in.
When I was a kid, my mother always had open air compost piles in our backyard, and she would go out with a pitchfork every once in a while.
Move it around.
And we used to always watch where that pitchfork was going.
So the compost is the magic. Now at this point, you are assessing the needs of the plant you're going to plant or the garden you're going to make. Some plants, of course, just thrive on lean soil. so you don't need so much compost. If I'm planting canna lilies or if I'm planting tomatoes or something like that, I want a rich soil, so I'm going to put in more compost. Indeed, one time we had so much compost in the soil that our zinnias were 5 feet tall. So you can just vary it from that and make it as rich as you want or as lean as you want. And this is what we put after we dig the holes in our rocky ground, and we screen out the rocks, and we save the soil, and then I amend that soil just as you see here. And then I put newspaper around the hole, wet newspaper, on the grass and around the hole, and then I fill that hole in the gravel soil with this mixture, and then I put the rocks. I sometimes put plastic around, and then I put the rocks around as a mulch. Then I only have to water and weed the hole. And any gardens that we have, we can look after. I've found that if I make big perennial beds, eventually the weeds and the grass get away on us. And it's a real chore keeping up.
Yeah.
But this is a shortcut.
So the newspaper, you put that in, you've got your hole dug where you're going to plant. You line it all with newspaper.
Well, usually I just bring it over the lip and down as far as I think grass roots and weed roots would reach.
Yep.
And then, and there are other modifications in the holes, and I could maybe explain that at a later date.
Okay.
Doing that.
So this is what you, I mean, if you have plants that you probably separate and propagate in another area.
Yes.
But if we're going to a nursery and we're buying plants in a pot, you still would put this kind of soil in the hole, even though the plant is in the potted stuff.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you know the hanging pots you buy, you take them apart. You know you have to keep watering them all the time.
Yes.
And you have to keep fertilizing them with usually chemical fertilizer.
And that's because there's nothing in that soil.
That soil is not soil.
Right.
Okay.
It's all artificial. You've got perlite, vermiculite, sphagnum moss. And what I usually do, any plant I get in as a hanging plant, I bring it home, I find a large pot, I mix up really good batch of soil, I set the hanging plant out of the pot, and I put it into a pot that's on the ground.
Okay.
And fill it, and it'll last all year. Cut it off, put it in your greenhouse or wherever for the winter, bring it up next year, you've got another plant to start.
Oh my goodness.
So those plants you spend a lot of money on, a lot of them will survive the winter.
I didn't realize there wasn't the nutrition in the actual pot.
No. That's why we all buy these beautiful flowering pots, and within 3 or 4 weeks, oh, what's happened to my petunias?
Yeah, how
they're
did
all
I kill
straggly,
them?
they're not neat. If you go other places, you'll see their pots are still filled and blooming. They're really stuffing the fertilizer to them.
Oh, I see.
And when you go home and you stop doing that, they have nothing to grow on.
Now I understand what I've been doing wrong. So it's really using this kind of soil mixture that's really going to help the plants survive.
Yes.
So it's actually really worth all the time and effort to put it together.
And the soil is alive when you see live creatures in it.
Yep, there's a little
Well, we all know how important worms are.
Yep, and
certainly.
there he is.
So the rule is in the garden, and I think it's an old Chinese rule, you feed the soil. The soil will feed the plants. Don't feed the plants, feed the soil.
Wow.
That's the most important
So
step.
if you put chemical fertilizer on your soil, you're only feeding the plants. You're mining the soil. You're just making use of it as any kind of a medium to grow something in. But if you actually put food into the soil, you're improving the soil, and that's feeding your plants.
Now, if you already have a garden that's already growing in semi-dirt and you want to nurture the dirt, but it's already full of plants, how do you get this into the soil around, the dirt around the plant?
You just make a more stronger mixture with the compost, and you can just set it around on top, or you can just cultivate it in lightly around. And then over the years, it'll build up.
Well, I understand that tilling the soil or tilling the dirt is not necessarily a good idea because it could damage the roots.
Well, it can, but it also loosens the bond between the soil that's already there and your new good soil that you're putting in. It's like joining two, it's like glue. It's like joining two things together. And also the water that you water the plants will get down into that soil, the original soil better, and it will take the nutrients from your new soil on top. So you don't dig deeply. You know, the closer you are to the plant, the less deep you dig.
Yes, yes.
And lots of plants can take root trimming.
And when you're transplanting, because I have great plans of transplanting this fall and next spring. So really what I need to do is get really good soil when I do that transplanting, not the chemical fertilizer.
That's right. Now, if you don't have compost handy, then buying the bags of sheep manure.
Yes.
Cow manure, something about that, or other kinds of manure, that's better than nothing. However, beware, cow manure, mostly made from manure from feedlots. Okay. Feedlots mostly have steers. They feed them all kinds of mineral for fast growth rate, and steers in particular pass that mineral through their body into the manure. So you have an extra salty solution you're getting into your garden. You may not want that.
No, so it's better to use a sheep manure?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
What about chicken?
Well, chicken's fine. Okay. If it's not too raw, if it's raw, it can burn your plants.
Ooh. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Cow manure is fine. It's regular cow manure, especially if it's been composted outside. But they say avoid manures made from feedlot.
Okay.
Compost made from feedlot manures.
And so if you mix the sheep manure with some peat moss and with some of the regular natural soil. I'm sorry, I call it dirt. A natural soil and a little bit of sand. That's good. You're good. If you're not in a position to get good compost.
That's right. I find locally that if we order a truckload of sand, I might get in trouble for saying that, a truckload of soil, topsoil, they'll say triple mix, so on and so on. But generally it comes, I find it's far too sandy.
Okay.
I mean, who is really going to sell the really good topsoil from your land?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're going to, and quite often they put black marl muck in it to make it look dark.
So you think you're getting a good product.
You think you're getting a good product.
Yep.
Almost no nutrient.
Wow.
Almost no nutrient in it.
So the first step of gardening and the biggest thing you can do is creating your good top quality soil with your compost, and this is the best the process.
That's
and
right.
The lasagna composting sounds like it's pretty foolproof.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what impresses me is the amount of garden that you actually have here. I mean, you have a lot of land, but you also have a lot of garden as well in order to have those plants flourish and be so beautiful that, wow.
We're going to have Bill Loney back with his wife Dawn for another episode of Gardening with Your Local Experts. See you next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next guest, Buck Hicks, Warden of Grey County, Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
This will change the world.
What? There's a family in our driveway.
Wake up!
So you feeling what I'm feeling?
Yes! Now is the time to choose a side.
I think it's all right to express your emotions.